use your God power to get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin. In this next example, extreme religious faith gave these people superhuman abilities in their time of need. In the late 1600s, when King Louis XIV tried to purge the country of the unabashedly Protestant Huguenots, a group of Huguenot resistors in the valley of the Cevennes, and known as the Camisards, displayed similar abilities. In an official report sent to Rome, one of the prosecutors, a prior named Abbe Ducella, complained that no matter what he did, he could not succeed in harming the Camisards. When he ordered them shot, the musket balls would be found flattened between their clothing and their skin. When he closed their hands upon burning coals, they were not harmed, and when he wrapped them head to toe in cotton soaked with oil and set them on fire, they did not burn. As if this weren't enough, Clarus, the Camisard leader, ordered that a pyre be built and then climbed on top of it to deliver an ecstatic speech. In the presence of 600 witnesses, he ordered the pyre to be set on fire and continued to rant as the flames rose up above his head. After the pyre was completely consumed, Clarus remained unharmed and with no mark of fire on his hair or clothing. The head of the French troops sent to subdue the Camisards, a colonel named Jean Cavalier, was later exiled to England, where he wrote a book on the event in 1707 entitled A Cry from the Desert. Okay, let's look at this illustration. Here we have the normal reality. First you have the physical meaning of a person's body, and then you have the physical meaning that bodies and flesh can be harmed by bullets and fire. Everyone knows that. And it's because they know that that's their reality. Physical meaning. Men are shot and burned. They're really shot and they're burned. And so what happens? They die agonizing deaths. They really die. Because based on the meaning that bodies and flesh can be harmed by bullets, can be harmed by fire, if they're shot and they're burned, guess what? It matches the meaning. They die. Now let's look at God power exercised by extreme religious beliefs. You have the physical meaning of the person's body. Okay, that's the same. Then you have the thought meaning that bodies and flesh cannot be harmed by bullets or fire. Then you have the same physical meaning as before. Men are shot and burned. But guess what? They are completely unharmed. The result is they are completely unharmed. Why? Because they had the meaning that they couldn't be harmed. If you have a meaning that you can't be harmed, you can't be harmed. Remember, no one else can influence your reality. Remember the man on the mat, the karate expert. He was thinking in his mind that he was immovable. He was sitting between two mountains, tethered by chains. And as long as he had that thought in his mind, that was the meaning. And as long as he had that meaning, they could not push him over. However, if they could have changed the thought in his mind, if one of them had come up to his ear and shouted, "You're not a mountain. You're not chained to mountains. You're on a mat. You're on a mat." If they were able to convince him to have a different picture in his mind, that he was in fact just sitting on a mat in a karate studio, he would have been pushed over easily. But when you have a meaning, no one else can affect your reality. you have domain over your entire reality. But by the same token, you can't change somebody else's reality. Only they can do it. So you have the power over your own reality solely, exclusively, autonomously. And these people said, we can't be harmed by bullets or fire or anything else, frankly. And so nobody else could harm them or talk them into being harmed, because as long as they held that belief that they couldn't be harmed, they couldn't be harmed. It's just that simple. That's the power of your God power, because listen, everything is only meaning with energy with meaning. That's all it is. Everything in the universe is simply energy with meaning. That's all. So bullets, what are bullets? Bullets are energy with meaning. To the people shooting them, they have the meaning of speeding lead. To the people who couldn't be harmed, they probably were marshmallows. That's the meaning they held. You shoot a marshmallow at somebody, it'll squash up against your skin. Interestingly, the bullets were flat against their skin, but did penetrate the shirt. I find that quite interesting, because that showed you that their meaning was for them. They couldn't be harmed. But they didn't extend that meaning to their clothing. So the clothing got a hole in it, but their skin did not. Now, interestingly, the guy that was in the fire that was burning, he extended his meaning to include his clothes. Because after all, you don't want to be standing there and have your clothes burn off and be standing there naked. I mean, maybe you do, but he didn't. So he extended his meaning to include that not only could he not be harmed, but his clothes could not be harmed. So as he was standing in the fire, and the fire finally burned down, his clothes and his hair and his body were completely unharmed. But the people with the bullets, they extended that only to their body and not to the clothing. So the clothing had holes in it, but their body did not. So here they were shot and burned, and what happened? Completely unharmed. Here it says, the ability has been elicited and activated in their own life experience. Once again, they're hitting the green tuning fork. I cannot be harmed. And when I'm in a fire, even my clothes can't be harmed. There's nothing you can do to me. And sure enough, he's eliciting. Remember, the situation's always neutral. Always neutral. There's an unlimited, infinite number of possible outcomes of that situation. The guy's being shot with a bullet. There's an unlimited number of possible outcomes. One of the outcomes is the bullet could shoot right through his shirt and shoot right through his gut and kill him. But in order for that outcome to have occurred, there would have had to have been a meaning that would elicit that outcome. No outcome can occur without a meaning eliciting it. So if they say, I can be harmed, then when they're being shot by bullets, they will elicit the outcome that they are harmed. However, what's another one of the infinite possible outcomes of that situation? Another possible outcome is the bullet flattens against their skin. That was the meaning that they had. How do we know? Because that was the result. You can easily see what the meaning was because of what the elicited result was. The bullet flattened against his skin. Okay, so that was his meaning.
Richard will continue this explanation on the next segment, number 26. Options. Now activating the next video, play options. One moment please. Click on the green arrow to start watching the next video. Or, click on the red arrow to start watching the prior video. Or, click on the tan arrow to go to the main course menu and guide, with links to all course chapters, excerpts, and special reports. Up next, special video options. Click on your choice of course videos, menus, and excerpts. Now switching to the special video options menu and activating the video selection buttons. Click on your selection number to start watching the video. "15 seconds till we switch to the next page with the free download information. Pause the video now if you need more time to review the available selections." This is the end of this course video. Its video number is listed above. To watch the next video, simply click on the next video in number sequence. Thank you.